So I want to officially welcome everyone. My name's Laura Gordon, and I'm here with the Joomla User Group of New Jersey. And we're absolutely thrilled to have you all here. And we have meetings with the Joomla User Group of New Jersey, I would say once every other month or something like that. If there's anyone in here that wants a specific topic for us to bring up, just send me an email and let me know, and we'd love to be able to host it if I can find someone to talk about it. I'm absolutely thrilled. I work currently for Rutgers, the State University of New Jersey. We work for the School of Arts and Sciences, and we manage about 120 Joomla websites for the School of Arts and Sciences. So if you ever visit, those are all Joomla websites. And I've been working in Joomla personally since about 2005 or 2006, something like that. So quite a while. So Mark and I think, Mark, didn't we meet in Italy, I think, at the World Conference in 2017? And he's a good friend of mine, and he is the master of custom fields. So when it comes to creating overrides for custom fields, Mark is the man. So I really appreciate him coming here today and sharing his thoughts with us. He really loves to think out of the box. And at every place that we've met when we were, again, together in Spain, we would always go to a table somewhere outside and just talk about different things. How can we make this work, you know? And I really enjoyed those conversations with him and thinking out of the box. And anyway, so I'm very pleased and honored to have you here, and the floor is yours. Do you want to share your screen at this point?
Yeah, that could be a good idea.
And introduce yourself as well. So thank you.
Yeah, so hello everybody, and thank you, Laura, for coordinating this session. So Chetan is there now. Maybe you can introduce yourself, Chetan, before I start.
Mark, can you hear me?
Yes, we all can.
Hi, everyone. Hey, I'm sorry I'm late. I'm Chetan. That's it. I'm fun with you. Sorry. We were talking. Yeah, thank you, Laura. We were just talking a few minutes ago, me and Mark, and we were talking a dozen different topics. It's a joke related to that. Yes. So for everyone who doesn't know me, my name is Chetan. I'm a developer with GymDev and from the team behind Asteroid. I've dealt with Laura in the past. I've seen Mark, Beyond, Tim, Eon. You know, these are the folks on the meetings I've dealt with earlier, and other folks that I plan on dealing with today. Yeah, and I really hit Tim out of all these people.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. So now I'm going to pass it officially over to Mark. And Mark and Chetan, when you want to come in, you guys, whatever you want to do, I am absolutely thrilled that we're doing all this. So I'm going to turn my video off so that way my video isn't distracting to anyone. And the floor is yours.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you again. So I'm calling from Brussels, Belgium, in the center of Europe. And I'm speaking as because I'm very enthusiastic about Asteroid template and framework. But I'm under great pressure because Chetan is there, the author of Asteroid. So I'm okay. So hopefully I will only tell good things about correct things. I mean about Asteroid and under his control. But how does it come that we speak about Asteroid today? Actually, it was pure accidents. Last time I came to the New Jersey Joomla user group, just before the session, we were having a little chat with Laura, and she was telling, oh, I'm about to remake a series of websites. And so we started to talk about templates, and I was telling, oh, since I discovered Astroid like 2 years ago, I only use it. I only use that because it's so wonderful. So there are also other nice template providers, of course. And this is not a sponsored conference or whatsoever. I'm just an Asteroid user, and I'm very enthusiastic. And when it comes to Joomla custom fields or anything where I'm enthusiast, I'm very happy to talk about it and to share my good experiences with other people. But so I'm not part of the team. I'm just a simple user. I don't even have a license, actually. I hope Chetan will forgive me because I make my own overrides. I play with CSS. So like in my case, I only use the framework and the free template, the free basic template. But of course, you can go even further if you want to take a license
and to add to it, all the Mark's commission we pay it in Bitcoin, so it's all untraceable.
Okay, so this is about Asteroid, but before speaking about Asteroid, I wanted to speak about the competition, the other template providers, because actually, how did it start? I started with Joomla more than 10 years ago, Joomla 1.5, and I started to work professionally with Joomla about when Joomla 3 was released. And at that time, I won't name the template provider, it does not matter. But when you wanted to add a new position, gosh, you really had to go into the PHP code. So maybe today I would do that easily, but at the time it was really heavy. And then you would have an update, you would lose your new positions, your new sections and all that. So it was very tricky, not very flexible, but it was like that at the time, right? And one day, not speaking about JoomDev now, but one day at some Joomla Day in France, there was a presentation by the president, the chairman of the Association of Joomla French Users. And he spoke about templates, comparing different templates. So it was like 5 minutes on each template, like 10 different template providers, and with a quick overview. And then he came with this. It was Elix from Joomshaper. They're also from India, I think. If I'm not mistaken, yeah?
They're from Bangladesh.
Oh, I apologize. This is a huge mistake. I apologize. They are from Bangladesh.
It's okay. It's a country next door, so.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Like our Dutch friends here in the session and me from Belgium. Okay, good. And so it was like really a game changer. This Elix 3 from Joomshaper, it was like when you wanted, you had simple options, simple buttons, and you wanted to change the layout. You wanted to switch to positions like this. If you wanted the logo on the right, you would just drag and drop. It was the first time there was something like that in all the template providers that I knew at the time. So it was really a game changer, and I've used Elix 3 a lot, and I'm still, now they've gone to Elix Ultimate, so the next version, but I don't use it anymore, actually, since I discovered Asteroid, because it's a bit the same philosophy, a bit like Elix 3 was for me a game changer at the time I discovered it. 2 years ago, about 2 years ago, when I discovered Astroid, again, it was the next level. So the same philosophy, very easy to use, very flexible. If I set up everything afterwards, even my end customers could change positions, change colors, change social icons, whatever. So it's not a technical thing. Even my end users could customize what I've prepared for them. So this is how it all started. Elix, and then 2 years ago, I discovered Asteroid. And well, here we're showing Elix 3. So I'm saying again, now it's Elix Ultimate. So now it's a different design. It's another layout, like you only have a narrow column on the left-hand side, and then you have a preview of the templates on the major part of the screen. But personally, I like to have all the options on the full screen. And Elix Ultimate has more options than Elix 3 at the time, of course. And so why did I fall in love with Asteroid? Actually, just going, I've created for this session on a subdomain of mine this morning, because for me it's afternoon now. I create on asteroid.wordweb.be. I created a fresh website with Asteroid. So here, I just go to the backend to show you quickly the interface of Asteroid. So I installed a quick start. Where can you find Asteroid templates and frameworks? Simply on joomdev.com, right? There you have Asteroid. You click on that, you have a nice big green button, download now or view demo, and you can have a look at all the different features, but we go through that now in a presentation. So when I log in here in the template styles, just have to wait a few seconds. It's a big interface, so it first has to load. You already see on the left-hand side that you have many options. We have basic, header, colors, layout, typography, article blocks, social, custom code, miscellaneous, theming, export, presets, export and import when you want to switch your configuration from website to website. So we'll go a bit through all of that, but I cannot even show everything in 1 hour because there are so many things. But as you can already see from the interface, even without having to explain the details, everything are just simple choices, simple buttons on, off. If you want the menu on the left, just choose this. Oh, actually you can choose on the left or on the right. Okay, let's give it a try. If I save it, right? So this was my regular website with the menu at the top. And if I refresh now, I should have the menu on the right. So my server is not very fast because it's on the subdomain. So right, I have the whole menu on the right now. And everything is just an example. It's just to say that everything is as easy and as intuitive as this. So we'll go through some of those configuration, but now you already have an idea of how it looks like in the back end. But I'll just go and show you in the front end what I like about Asteroid. So maybe I'll refresh so that I have again the menu at the top as we have most of the time. So, for example, the blog view. Let's take the blog view of Asteroid. Actually, there are plenty of things which are possible on top of the usual Joomla options, right? Of course, you have an intro image, you have a title, you have the users if you want to display, you have the creation date, the read more button. All this is pure native Joomla. But for example, what we have the read time. This is an extra coming from Asteroid. But even better than that, some articles are not regular articles. They are video articles or SoundCloud articles. So this is what I'm going to show here. It's the only thing I change on this website, on the Kickstart. I just created a page like this. And actually you have different types. I was saying video, the regular one, a quote, audio type, a review type, a gallery type. So I'll just open a couple of them. That's the video. I've just removed the intro image, but never mind. A quote article. I just opened 3 of them just to show how it looks like. So that's the video, right? I have a YouTube video to start with just before my title, but this is a parameter. I could put it after the title. This is a simple article, but with a quote. Again, before my title, but it could be somewhere else. And this is a SoundCloud. So where does it come from? Let's go back to the backend. I'll open a new window. A new tab in my browser. So let's go and have a look at the articles. And I'll take the video, sorry. Actually, now in this interface, on top of what we have in a native Joomla setup, we have extra tabs, and you immediately see which ones, because they have a little colored bullets just before the title. So we have article type. This is what we were saying. This is not a regular article. This is a video. So then I can say, oh, that's a YouTube or that's a Vimeo, and I can copy paste my YouTube link. Then I can say, okay, I want the video before or after the title. I can also add an article badge and say, okay, I want to say trending. And let's say I put back some intro image because I had deleted it when doing my tests a few seconds ago. So where was it? Like I'll take anyone. Oh no, it was just block type, whatever, it does not matter. I just put another, no, not that one, another one. Okay. Let me just save that, and I'll go and refresh the page. Right, so I have my intro image, but thanks to Asteroid, I can have some extra label. How would you call that? A label? Little ribbon here saying trending or bestseller. So you can choose the proposed sentences, or even type your own if you want. And you have an extra icon like here. You immediately see that it will be a YouTube video, or here you will see Spotify. Here you will see that it is a gallery. So if I open it, you have a slideshow to start the article, right? So this is a very easy way to make your content. For your end users, it will be much easier to edit an article and just to add, even in the front end, just if they want to add a video, YouTube or Vimeo or whatever, SoundCloud, etc., it will be very easy for them to have to use those types. So this is a quick overview of the articles options, and that's a real plus if you need that. But you also have other things like I mentioned the read time already, but you can also show related articles. All this is pure Asteroid, right? Some extra author info, social sharing, comments. So we will see that in the back end of Asteroids afterwards, right? But as you can see, you have general settings. And here we have set this on inherit for all the parameters, for all the options, but you could make exceptions for some articles. And even better than that, I would say, Asteroid ships with Open Graph. So as you know, what is Open Graph? When you share a page on the social networks like Facebook or Twitter or whatever, let me just show another article where I prepared some content there. Here, how business can ease your pain. There, I've already configured to go faster. So I've given my own title, right? It has nothing to do with the title of the article. It is really custom made for Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, whatever. The Open Graph description, so that's the long version, the long text, and even an image. So the image, you can create it on any tool you like. For example, Canva, where they have predefined formats like for Facebook and others, so that you have the right ratio and it will appear even better. So when you set those parameters for Open Graph, it means that I'll go to that page. Where was it? It is the general blog page, and it was the first article that I took, right? So on this page, if I share it on social networks, here I have a little add-on on my browser so that I don't have to make it for real on Facebook or Twitter. If I just click on this, it will show a preview, right? So if I share this page now on Twitter, Facebook, etc., without installing some extra, there are also extensions doing that, right? Open Graph, but here it ships directly with Asteroid, so it's very easy. And the nice thing is that it is customized. This picture is not even on the page, right? And since you are on the social networks, probably you want to have an overlay with some text on the image because people don't read text. They will read the image, right? And we have our customized title and our customized description. So it's very handy to have it all directly within the template without having to install extra tools to manage Open Graph. It's also very easy for menus. Let's say that on this blog with sidebar, let's say that I want to customize the banner here. Well, in Joomla, if you wanted a banner for each page, how would you do? You would have to create a custom module. And if you have 100 pages, menu items on your website, you have to create maybe 100 modules every time with a background image and a text and whatever, the design that you like. Here it's very easy because if I go to the main menu, I go to the blog menu item. So where was it? It's a bit further. Yeah. It is called with sidebar. I choose that one. I could choose any other one. We also have plenty of extra options coming along with Asteroid. So again, on all those tabs, there are many tabs in Joomla already. Now we have even more tabs, all the ones with the colored dot. So what do we have here? I can choose an icon from Font Awesome. So it's a famous source for icons, like you have, I don't know, 400, 500 icons, I don't remember, several hundred. So I could just go through the list, or I could directly type what I want. Like if I type, I don't know, music. Okay, I find an icon for music. Now, if I save and I go back to my menu to my website, I just refresh my web page. Oh, I don't have it. No, yes, sorry, it was on my sub menu. I was looking at blog, but I added it on my sub menu called with sidebar. So for every menu item, I can have an icon, right? Even stronger than that, but I'll show it after maybe. So this was the icon, but in some cases, especially, I'll open a new window. It's better that I show it now. Something very, very handy when you have a website and menu, okay. And I want to go to contacts. Sorry, I have my window there and my Zoom window on top of it. If I go to contact, I could say, oh, right, I go here, I select something for contact like envelope. What do we have? Yeah, that's good for contact. And I could also click on icon only. And I was saying this is very handy because on this page now, instead of having here contact in full letters, right? If I refresh, it will only show the icon. So for all the menus like login, search, contact, whatever, typically you want to have it very compact because it leaves more room for your real menu items, right? And again, that's just one button, sorry, where was it? Here. It's just one switch to say icon only. There are so many options. I cannot mention everything, right? But we could also add a subtitle. We could also add a custom class so that in my CSS, I could say, oh, it will be another color or whatever. If I have submenus, I could say, oh, they will be left aligned, right aligned, or even go on the full width of the screen. And this is very interesting because we also have what is called mega menu. So the mega menu are very well known for like 10 years in Joomla. A mega menu, if I go, where do we have? Yeah, here we have an example. If you want, okay, here, that's a typical menu with sub-menu items, right? But the mega menu is where you want to have more content. Here we have a 3 columns layout so that we can show more things. People immediately see different sub-menus. But we could also publish anything there, like not only real classical sub-menus, but I could also publish a module there, a Joomla module. So, for example, a YouTube video or whatever, or login form, whatever. I could have real sub-menu together with modules directly from when I enable here mega menu. Maybe I should have a look at the one which is already created. So it is called mega menu. I should open it so that I don't have to reinvent the wheel. On this mega menu, okay, what have they done here? They have added a row. You can choose between plenty of layouts, right? Is it just 1 block or 2 blocks 50-50 or 2 blocks 2/3, 1/3 or what, or even custom. You could say, oh, I want one column plus 6 plus whatever. So you just select your layout. Here they went for 3. Then I can say, what do I want to publish in the first column? I could say, okay, I want to add either sub-menus, right? Either modules. So I see all the available modules on my website. So it's very easy, very intuitive to configure. And so that you can have a complex sub-menu, mega menu. Okay, in the options, when you are on, I closed, no, I'm not closing that one. In some cases, when it makes sense, you can even choose the width of the sub-menus, right? And this can be handy as well. Let me show an example. Where is it? Healthy Belgium. Okay. That's also a typical example of, how to say, of mega menu, right? Instead of having sub-menus, sub-sub-menus, sub-sub-sub-menus, there is much content on this website, so people can immediately see different types of sub-menus. All this is thanks to those mega menu. There is also an option to add a badge. So personally, I never use it, but it can be useful, like for Chuck, New Jersey, and I could choose a text color, choosing anything here, but background color, right, yellow. If I save, I'm not trying to do something good looking, right? This is just a quick test. So I chose any color, but you see my submenu, I added an icon, and now I have added this little extra label. So it's nice to say, oh, this is new, or this is hot, or I don't know, discount or whatever. So everything ships with Asteroid. So it's very easy. All those extra options in the articles, in the menu items, but even, and I've never used it so far, because usually on my websites, I don't show the users, the authors on the websites, but I think that even on that page, you have extra tabs. Exactly. Here on the user pages, you have an extra tab. Again, you identify them that they are coming from Asteroid because they're the extra colored dot, right, bullets. I could add for each author, instead of just having, like we see, super user, right? It's not very sexy. You could leave it on none, or choose the gravatar, or upload an image. You could have a little about me, so that when people read an article, when they click on the author, they could get more information about the author. It would be more sexy than just the name, as we have on native Joomla website. You can also add the author social profile. I'm really discovering the screen. I've never been on that page before, but if you need to customize, to have a profile for your authors, it's just what you need. Now, this was just to give a flavor of what it changes, how you see from the front end all those extra features from Asteroid. But now it's time maybe to go through the back end, because there are so many options. For example, let's start with the start. So the first tab here is basic. You can choose whether you have a preloader or not. So the preloader, if I go back to the page, I refresh. Okay, you see a little animation during like 1-2 seconds when the page is loading. Here you can customize everything. It comes with a series of animation. You can say, oh, I prefer that one. And I want another color because my template is, I don't know, red. And I want a background because this will be, do you want something ugly? It will be more fun, right? I choose a lime green color. And I could say I want it bigger. I want it 124. Let's just save it and see what it gives. Now when I refresh the page, right, instead of seeing my website behind the animation, I have the solid background and my big animation. So here I'm exaggerating the animation because, of course, you would not choose that color. You would make it transparent. It could be nice, and maybe some other color or maybe more gray. Okay, I could improve the styling. It's not the idea of having a good-looking thing, right, for the demo. Right, this is better. We see that there is an overlay. So all these options are there, transparency, etc. Back to top. When you scroll down, you have this little back to top. Sometimes on some templates, you need to install an extension, right, to have that back to top button. Well, hopefully now on all the recent templates, you have an option for that. But here you can even customize everything. Do you want it or not? If you want it, what kind of icon? You have a huge list. Icon size, color, background color, the shape, if you want a rounded square, a circle or whatever. Do you want it on mobile or not? You could say, I want to have it on desktop, but why on mobile? It would take too much space on my little screen. So all these settings are there. Just go through them and you will see. The smooth scroll was introduced like a few months ago, I think. It's also nice when you have like links on the page, on a long page, and you have the index, you want to click on a link, and instead of having in 0 seconds, suddenly you're scrolling down, but without any animation, here you would have a smooth scroll effect on that page. So you just turn the switch on and you have it. Now, the next section is about the header. So again, so many options and everything is intuitive. So that's a classical one, which is chosen here, the horizontal. But you could say, oh, on my website, I have so many menu items of level 1. If I put my logo next to that, it will, I don't have enough space for all my menu items. So then I would say, just choose stacked. Then you have plenty of room for your logo and plenty of room for your menu items. Are you on some websites? I can show it. They really exaggerated because they had so many menu items of level 1, like we see here. You cannot put all those menu items on one row, on one line, right? Especially that it's not even words, it's almost sentences, right, every time. So that's the first time I chose the side menu. And in this case, it's a perfect match, but you have all those options directly. Where is my, okay, page? Directly on the interface, and every time with sub choices. Like if you choose stacked, you could choose, oh, that's a nice idea. I want it with my menu, my logo in the middle, and then automatically it will split my menu items of level 1 to the left and to the right of the logo. And if I have an odd number of menu items, I can even say, okay, will I have 4 on the left and 3 on the right, or the other way around? So for everything, you never have to code or to tweak or whatever. Everything is directly in the interface. Also, as you can see here, I don't need it many times, but you could also have some extra position, module position in the header. So it's the little one there that you see on all the screenshots. So you could say, oh yes, I want to publish something there, whatever, well, what you like, on this little block. Of course, you can choose. Typically, I use that for the multilingual websites. I can say, okay, I have the Asteroid style for French, for Dutch, for English. And every time I would say, okay, here it is the style for the French part of the website, the English part of the website. You can select which menu you have. Then in my case, one of the killer features why I immediately fell in love with Asteroid. So as you can see, our Joomla Day France Joomla website, which I made with a friend, was made at the time with Helix 3. And I'm still very grateful to those people also, because that was in 2017, I think. During 1 year, they sponsored all the Joomla events around the world. So every single Joomla Day, Joomla World Conference, etc., they sponsored it. A bit like now in another area, but Tim and Chetan, who are present here, and Chetan is from JoomDev, so developer of Asteroid. The last year, they have initiated a podcast. What is the URL again? Can you tell me?
Oh, just Google Joomcast, Joomcast. It'll come up.
So if you don't know Joomcast, just you also find it on the website of JoomDev, right?
Yeah.
You have like 22. Gosh, I listened to all of them. I was not even aware that there were 22 already. So it's really interesting. So I always like the people who don't only offer something to the community, because Asteroid is free, right? The template and the template framework. You can also buy a license if you want to have more templates and more extensions, etc. But those people like from JoomDev, or also previously from Joom Shaper, are also committed and involved in the community. So I really appreciate to use solutions coming from people who do more than just selling things and are also involved in the community. So coming back to that Joomla Day website, at the time, Helix 3 was the top, right? But well, this is a complex website. We have so many pages, and here we did not want sub-menu items. Or another use case would be this website, right? We have so many, I think I have like 200 menu items in each language. I don't want to show the 200 menu items in the main menu. I want to say, I just want to show level 1, level 2, not level 3, 4, 5, 6, right? And that's where Asteroid came with this lovely option. You can say for the menu that you are displaying in the header, you can say, oh, actually, in the main menu, I just want to show level 1 and 2. And even if I have 200 menu items in each language of my website, I don't have to tweak with CSS for hiding level 3, 4, 5. No, it's just an option. Like for everything in Asteroid, it's just a simple drop down, a simple switch, a simple button or whatever, but it's always very easy to set up and anybody can understand how it works, right? Even your end user, if someday they say, oh no, I still want to see level 3, they will choose level 3. Then plenty of little details like drop-down trigger, drop-down arrow. So like here, in this case, you see, to illustrate that we have a sub-menu, we have a little arrow there. So you can say whether you want it or not. If you want it more compact, you don't want it to show. If you want it to make obvious that there are sub-menu items, you want to display it. And what was I showing again? Yeah, and also, do you have to click on the menu item to display the sub-menu, or just hovering it is good enough? Everything in Asteroid is a simple option. Is it just hover or click? Is it you want to show the arrow or not? Easy. Same thing for the logo. You can say, do I want a text or an image or nothing? Okay, the most typical case is an image. Then you could even say that you want a different link on the image, right? That's a new option I had not even noticed until now. You can choose the default logo, which is maybe the big logo. For mobile, you could choose maybe the little version of your logo without the text, right? Without your baseline and everything, so that it's more compact on mobile view. Also great options. You can have a sticky header. Again, it's just one switch, right? Do you want a sticky header? So what is it? The sticky header is when I scroll down, your header is still visible, right? It still shows. There is a little animation, and I can even choose the layout for this. I can choose, okay, on my sticky menu, I want the menu items right aligned, and maybe I want a different logo, why not? Maybe that's excellent. On desktop, I could say, I like the sticky menu, but I don't want it to take too much room on my page. So I will say, I want it sticky, but only on scroll up. And on mobile, I don't want sticky because I want to have more space for my content, not for my menu. So if I save that, then what do I have? I just refresh the page. Now, if I scroll down, did I not save it correctly? No, probably not. Where am I? Sticky. But I won't lose time on that. Normally, it's only when I scroll up that the sticky header should show. But I don't know whether I did not save correctly, but it does not matter. We have so many things to see. Even the animation, you can choose whether you want an animation for when the submenus are appearing. Don't you want any animation? That's fine. Just fade. Okay, that's fine. Or even a slide, and then you can choose the milliseconds for the animation, even the type of animation, linear or more sophisticated animation. Everything is options. Again, I repeat it, but it's so easy. Same for changing topic now. The next section is colors. There, if you want to go quick, you just select, I don't know, cherry, save, right? And then I go back to my website, and now everything will be in red, hopefully. Yeah, so like my little label here trending, my button for the search, the menu items when I go on them, and everything, right? The background color. So it was just one click to switch it to red. Oh yeah, my sticky menu works. Actually, I did not save it correctly the previous time. So when I scroll down, I see no menu. As soon as I scroll up, my sticky menu does appear. So that's it for the color. Very easy, but what is excellent compared to other templates, I also appreciate, but here you can really customize. Well, we have this one big button to go quickly, but you can really customize everything. Like if you say, oh yes, on the header, I want the text to be something else than black, but to be blue. I can do it. I can do it for the main menu. What is the background color when I hover something? So many colors that you can individually customize according to your needs, right? Most of the time you will be happy with that, but sometimes you want to change any color and you don't need to go to CSS or whatever. You can do everything directly, again, from the interface. Well, like for me, it would not be a problem to do a custom CSS file, whatever, but for many users, this is very, very convenient. The next section is about layout, a bit like when Helix 3 came out, they were like the first to have this nice drag and drop interface. So here it's very similar in spirit, but we have, of course, even more options than what we had at the time. So, well, okay, you can drag and drop to switch positions, obviously. You can drag and drop also between two positions, like I already showed. But then for everything on this page, there are so many options that we could take another hour to show everything, right? I'll just show the header section. Here, I could say, okay, these are different options that I don't need now. But just for the design, I could say, okay, for the header, which we have typically like, let me just open one website because on the demo, I don't think there is a header there. Okay, the big green bar here at the top with the social icons and the language switcher. This is what I'm showing now. I could say, okay, in my case, I just said I want a green background. So I simply said, okay, I want a background and I want it green. Okay, quickly done. But you could go further. You could say for any position, it could be your footer, whatever. I'm just showing it generally here. You could say, no, I want my background to be an image. And then I can even say what is the background color behind that image. Maybe that image is a transparent PNG, right? So, and then the background image, you can say whether you want to repeat the image or to have a no repeat. You can say the background size. You want to cover the space, for example. You could say, do I want this background image to scroll or not? Okay, you could say a fixed position. It would be like, it will give some effects on the page when you scroll. And then you can say, okay, I want the image to be centered so that because I have a nice pair of eyes on the picture and I want them to be always centered and not cropped. So again, all this, I cannot cover all those options because there are so many, but you don't have to tweak with your custom CSS, whatever. You can directly choose all those things directly from the interface. You could even choose a background video. It's so easy. You just click on select video and you choose your background video, like for a home page. It can be very nice. You can also choose a gradient. Like nowadays, it's quite a design trend, right? To have this. So where I cannot get to that part of my screen. I could choose two colors and have a gradient there. And for each position or each row or each section, I can say, oh, this should be only visible on desktop, but not on extra small devices. So you can really customize when you want those positions or rows or sections to be displayed on what type of screens. Even better, you could say, I want it displayed on all types, on all screens, all sizes. But maybe on a desktop, I don't know, for your footer, let's say, maybe you would say, oh, on desktop, I want to have more empty spaces so that, you know, it's not packed with information. So you could say, oh, I want a top margin of, I don't know, 100 on desktop, right? Top, left, right, bottom. Okay, then I can even select, is it in pixels or in percentage or EM or whatever. Then I could say, oh no, on smartphone, I want my module, but I only want 10 pixels because I have less room on the smartphone, less space on my display, right? So everything again is are just options. So I won't tell more about the layout, but so as you see, it's very flexible. You can really customize, add a new section, and again, you will say you want 8:4, then you maybe you want to switch them and then add a different background. Also animations. Oh, I did not see animations here. I went too fast. Yeah, when you come on a page, maybe you want some animation for a position or a section or a row, and you can say, oh, it will, and you even have a preview so that if you have no clue of what it means between bounce and flash and etc. So for each position, row, etc., you can add an animation directly from the template settings, which is very handy. Yeah, so that's it for the layout, because you can go and play for yourselves. There are so many options. Also super handy, right? If you go to fonts.google.com, there are more than 1,000 fonts now, I think. Yeah, more than 1,000 fonts. Actually, with Asteroid, for any type, anything on the website, I can customize the font. So I could say, by default for my website, I want a Roboto, which is a classical one, right? And I could say the default size. The default size could be different again for desktop, tablet, and smartphone. I can really customize everything, right? An alternative font family, the font weight, the line height, letter spacing, for my body, for the default text of my website. But then, as you can see on the left of the screen, we can customize everything then for the menu, for the drop-down menu items, for H1, title 1, H2 to H6, and even custom typography. So I could say for the body, I want something classical, like very readable, like Roboto, but maybe that for my menu, I want something something special, and I'll choose a script font just to show. And maybe I want to transform it, and I'll say for my, I want uppercase, and I just save it, right? So hopefully if I was, oh, I was in the drop down, sorry. I'll do the same for the main scripts. Does not matter. Okay, uppercase, and I save. I just refresh, and hopefully if I did well. Right, so all my website is with the classical Roboto font, but for my menu items, I chose something more fun, right? Everything, again, can be customized directly from the interface. So very easy. It means now when I build a website, you know how many hours you can lose with a customer saying, oh, they want you to propose a font, and then they want something else, and then again something else. Oh, can you try a bigger one, a smaller one? Now you can even say, if you give them access to the backend, okay, go to Google Fonts, choose your font, and you can customize anything and test anything yourself. That's what I can sometimes do now, thanks to Asteroid here. Okay, this is quickly done for the typography, because we still have other sections to cover quickly, because it's almost 1 hour that I speak now.
Mark, I just have a couple of just quick questions that I see on the chat. Number one, someone asked if Asteroid is ready for Joomla 4. The answer is yes. Someone else was asking about uploading different types of fonts, and the answer is yes, you can. The other question, and I think this is a really good question that Ellen asked, what is the difference between Page Builder and the Asteroid framework? So since the Asteroid framework has so much, why would you even need Page Builder? And my answer is I don't think you would, but I don't know, maybe Chetan or Mark, you want to comment on that, because a lot of buzz out there is to use a Page Builder, although some of us don't. I'm not a big fan, but I think other people may be interested.
So indeed, we have not even covered everything in Asteroid, right? But you made a good point. There are so many options that you can already go very, very, very far in the customization of your design without even knowing anything about CSS or whatever. So it's very easy. Then the question about the Page Builder. Personally, I almost never use Page Builders because JoomDev has also a Page Builder. So it still makes sense to have a Page Builder. Like if you go on I just opened the page. It's a different thing. Actually, if typically a Page Builder, you would use it for your home page. If you're on your home page, you want to have, where is the Page Builder?
Mark, can I have Chetan join in on this discussion? Do you mind?
Yes,
Laura, I was just joking. That's okay.
No, I'm not good with jokes. But anyway, do you want, either one of you want to share on this? Either one is good.
No, Mark, yeah, continue. I'll help on answer other questions that are in the chat at the end. I do have some input, but yeah, let Mark continue. I appreciate that, Laura.
Perfect. No problem, boys. Keep going, Mark.
Where is the demo? Because I never used the page builders. So where can I find a quick demo?
So just click watch intro video in the first slide. Watch intro video right there, the big button.
Okay, that's a video.
Yeah, so.
Okay. So.
Presenting JD Builder, the all-new visual builder that allows you to create stunning-looking websites.
Okay, I won't go through the whole video, but the idea of page builder is that if you have something complex, like on your homepage, you want to display like figures. We have 200 members. We have published 1,000 articles, and we have 15 crew members. You could have those nice figures turning with an animation, right? You see 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 100. And then you would want a block with the 3 latest articles from a given category. Then you would want to have some videos somewhere. Then you would like to have tabs somewhere. Then you would like to have testimonials. Then you would like to have, so actually, then you want to have a page builder, because your content is not just a regular page, it's a page. You are building a page having so many different types of contents that you want to have a page builder to say, oh, here I want 50-50, there I want 1/3, 2/3, and the video on the right and on the left, I want to have tabs with frequently asked questions so that not all text is displayed immediately, but you click on the question and then it opens the corresponding answer. Then you want to use a page builder. But indeed, the interface of the page builder will be very similar. I mean, if you are using Asteroid and afterwards you use Joom Dev's page builder or any other one, it's a bit the same kind of interface, right? That's the difference. So I never use page builders because if I want a special home page, I will do it with overrides of my modules or whatever. But if you know nothing about coding and overrides, etc., page builders are very nice to build complex pages.
Perfect.
Is that an answer?
That was perfect. Thank you. And before you finish up, because I know there are a couple more things that you want to show, does anyone else have any like higher level questions that I should add in here? And I do know that it's 11:15. Those of you that do have to leave, that is okay. I'm okay with Mark to keep going for another 15 minutes or so. Again, this is being recorded, so you can always watch this later on. But are there any other questions that anyone wants to shout in before he finishes up? Okay, perfect. Mark, the floor is yours again. Thank you.
I think I can wrap it up like in 5 minutes because we have already seen the major features. As I told already, I cannot show everything because there are so many things in the interface. But so in 5 minutes, we should be finished. That's an interesting section here in the Asteroid parameters options, because on this article/blog section, I can say, oh yes, I want article rating. And then people can give a note, you know, from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stars to your articles. But Joomla has such a feature, but it reloads the page. Here it's made with Ajax. So if you know what it means, it updates without having to reload the page. So if you want article rating, that's excellent. You can also display related articles. This can be also very nice. You can also, well, show article badge. You could also show the read time that I showed at the start of the presentation. So like on each article, right, you have the read time here. And if I open the article, I can also have it. That's the options here, which are not native in Joomla. That's an extra of Asteroid. If you want social sharing, well, it immediately integrates with add this or share this. You just create an account on those services and you copy paste your ID or the little code that add this will give you, and you will have share buttons directly integrated on your website. Open Graph, that's for the social sharing when you want to have your custom title, custom description, custom image when you share on Facebook and Twitter. You could say, no, I don't want it because I'm using another tool. Well, just fine. Or you just enable it, and then the extra tab that you have on each menu or each article will play its role. If you want a commenting system under your articles, personally, I don't usually need it, but if one day somebody asked it, it's just one click. Facebook, discuss, hyper comments, intense debate. You just create your account, copy paste your ID or whatever, and it's done. You don't need an extra extension to do that. All I'm showing now is the free version. It is a version that I personally use on all my websites, right? So it's very handy to have everything in one place without needing extra extensions. For the article listing, so when you have a blog view, etc., again, you can say you want the read time, you want the badge, or you want the article type icon. So you can set that here. Very easy. I was showing that on this website. Typically, you want to show the social icons on the top of the website, right? Like here on the top left. This is so easily to set up. Actually, it's just drag and drop, because on some other templates you can do it, but the order has been determined by the template company, right? So if you want to say, no, I want Twitter first, you cannot do it. Here is just a question of drag and drop. For each icon, you can even say, oh, Twitter, do I want to have the little bird or the bird in the square? Then you just add your link. If you want to delete it, you delete it. If you want to add, I don't know, GitHub, you just click on GitHub and it's added on the list. So it cannot be easier than that. You can even say, so in which position you want it. You can say whether you want the colors of your website, like I did it here. I just wanted something, 2 colors, just green and white. But you could also say, where am I here? I want the brand color. Then you will have the blue Facebook for Facebook. You would be, you know, the red YouTube color for YouTube, etc. Again, very easy. Then also very easy, all the custom code. Like when you have Google Analytics, you have to copy paste that little bit of code they are giving you to track, to have your statistics. Well, you have an area here where you can copy paste that code. Also, if you have some reason to add code before the head in HTML, the head section of your website, or before body, or etc., you just copy paste any code from an external source or whatever that you want to add there. What is very handy is the custom CSS. So if you want to add some rules to say, oh, when I have something in bold in my text, maybe I want it in a different color. Well, you can have your own custom CSS that you type directly here. You could say, oh, everything strong in my would be, I don't know, color red, so that everything which is in bold would also be in red, right? When I do it, I never do it here because I have like 300 lines of custom CSS because I like doing advanced things, right? Then I don't type it here because you can also type it in a file called custom CSS. Then it's even easier, right? When you have long custom CSS. And here, if you have, I just use a regular custom.css file, but you could even customize further and say, yes, but in my case, I have a special case where I need to link to some extra CSS file. You can also directly just copy paste the link here. The same with JavaScript. If you need some script coming from, I don't know, you want some animation that when you go on some image on your website, I don't know, good example, I have it. No, okay, I don't show it because we don't want to lose time now, but you could have an animation that when you hover an image, it will move your image in 3D, just fine. You need JavaScript for that. You can copy paste it here. Or if you have more JavaScript, put it in a file and you can link to that file. That's it for the custom code. Then there are plenty of extras, like when you want to have powered by with the year, you can have a little text here. You could publish also your address, phone number, mobile, etc. All those parameters with a little icon are directly available. Maybe your website is not ready yet. You have a coming soon page that you can enable. You want to customize the error page, the 404 page. You can do it directly again without going in the code, directly from Asteroid. Your favicon, you can directly select it here as well. And also that's a recent interesting option. You have lazy loading, meaning that if you have a long page with, okay, every time an image, a text, instead of loading maybe 50 images, which are not on your screen anyway, it means that the page is very heavy to load for visitors. Here you can say, enable lazy loading, and then actually the browsers of your visitors will only load the content which is on your screen, not the content that you will see when you will start scrolling. It will only load those images and different contents when you really start to scroll. So it makes your website faster and better score for the different optimization tools. You can also, that's also for optimization. You can also say, okay, I want only one CSS file because then it's faster. That will be better. We get a better ranking on Google and other search engines. So you can enable those options, minify CSS and JavaScript, and make exceptions because maybe some files cannot be minified, otherwise they don't work that well or whatever. So all these options are there as well. Even better, you know, you have default colors, but you can customize that. So on my website, when I make a button and I say, I want a button of the primary color, I could say, I want a green button because my website is green. And I could even customize the green, not use the general definition of what is green. I could use my own flashy green, right? And then all my primary color buttons would have my own green color. Again, all that you could do manually when coding, but here without coding, you have everything in the interface. Then you can also export and import so that you don't have to, if you have customized many things and you make a similar website, you just export and import. And with that, I think that I have covered about, okay, not everything, but broadly covered all the different areas of Asteroid.
Thank you. That was fabulous. So thank you. Shatan, do you want to come in and give us your 2 cents on anything?
Yeah. It's hard to stop Mark once he gets started. I just want to say 2 things I read in the chat, and I just want to chime in on that. One was, why would someone switch to Asteroid if they're using Helix or Gantry or Uthream or, whatever other template frameworks are? And second, just explaining, adding to what Mark said, the difference between Page Builder and Asteroid, because page builder and a template, because we have both the products. So why switching? Probably because you want to try new things. We were developing our own templates that we sell commercially on Helix, and even our websites on Helix for a long time before we decided to switch to Asteroid and create Asteroid, actually. And we looked at UTheme, we looked at Gantry, everything, and it just seemed like a right decision to create something that has combination best features from all those templates and all those frameworks, and then use that. For example, the header you see. So we have multiple headers. That's a feature that's in UTheme. And there's a specific header type where the logo is in the center. That's a feature that was in a Rocket Theme template back in 2012 or something. So I, along with the rest of the team that we have here, we researched pretty much every kind of layout that we could create that was possible in Joomla already, and wanted to make sure that can be created with Asteroid. And I'd really say, yes, it's on Bootstrap. It has font awesome, all the bells and whistles. So if you want to give it a spin, yes, go ahead and do that. And apart from that, the difference between Page Builder and framework, think of the framework, Asteroid framework, as modules. All right, so you have modules that, you create a footer module that's there that you're not going to change on an ongoing basis. But think of Page Builder as articles. So each page is going to have a different layout. So our website is also based on Asteroid and Page Builder and other components. So the home page you see is built in Page Builder, where you have the slider and all those things as part of the Page Builders. But everything else, the menu, the footer, everything else is built with Asteroid. And you may like it, you may not like it. It's just a personal preference, and probably doesn't have a lot to do with product. Like Laura said earlier, I also don't use Page Builder on all the websites I built or I work on, just because there is no need, right? There is no need to complicate things. But when you are trying to do complicated layouts and you want to give your clients, or you want to give access to users to have the ability to easily change things, I think Page Builder plays a huge role in bringing them up to speed without having to do modifications to core HTML, CSS, or doing all that stuff. And answering Laura's question, Laura, we are on Bootstrap, and I don't see ourselves moving to another framework, whether that be CSS Grid or anything like that anytime soon. And to be honest with you, I'm not technologically advanced or knowledgeable enough to even make that decision. We have a lead developer who makes that kind of decisions. And I just remember that 6 months ago, we were having some kind of discussion where I brought up, because someone asked a same question on a forum, can we use Asteroid without Bootstrap 4, or can we use it on UIKit, which is what UTheme Pro is built on? And he said, we have to stick with one framework. We can't be jumping around in different frameworks. And that's really my 2 cents on everything that Mark did today, which was phenomenal.
Thank you.
Sure.
And thank you. I can't emphasize enough. Does anyone else have any questions on any of the topics that either of them went over? Chime in, or if your brain is done. Mark, you just did a marathon, so thank you very much. You really took it from top to bottom. I don't think you missed anything. And it is, I started using Asteroid myself for one of the Rutgers websites. And it was really fun. It was really fun to build upon. And the layout feature was really helpful. And I was able to really customize it based on what our client really wanted. And we were able to build something quite nice of what they were looking for. So it was great, turned out great. Does anyone have any other questions? Great question. So Michelle asks, and Chetan, can you just chip in here? The template customizations, and there are different levels of template customizations. There's your custom.css file, and then there's all the settings that we set in the Asteroid framework. How easy is it to export it to JSON and then re-import? And I know I had an issue with it the other day, but basically, could you just chime in on that?
Yeah. So she's asking two questions. It's not stored in database because the templates table, the extensions table that we have, cannot store that much JSON. We were storing it earlier and it was giving errors. So there is a params folder inside every Asteroid template, and whatever your style ID is, let's say, your template style ID core with Joomla, in this case, if Mark didn't have that many Chrome extensions, it would be visible, might be 16 or 17 or something like that, right? And that file is named styleid.json. You could basically just move that file to a different template. It would work, or you could export and import into a new different Asteroid template. It would work as well.
Okay. Michelle, does that answer that?
Actually, I must even say that sometimes, like when an image, the logo is used at 4 different places, because you can have a logo for the sticky header. Sometimes I even edit the JSON file and make a replace all, because it's a JSON file.
Instead of editing it 4 times. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Right.
Especially when I have websites in 4 languages and I have to change 3 times each logo. It's so easy because you have the interface, but if you know what is FTP and you can edit a JSON file, you just edit and find and replace.
And I assume when you update the framework, that JSON file is not touched, correct?
You lose everything at every update. That's the downside.
Are you guys kidding?
No, well, that has only been with one recent update where we kind of broke things, but yeah,
yes. I think I saw that one when I was trying to bring my site live in September.
Yes. Yeah. That was just one update, not every update. But thank you, Mark. Yeah.
Of course, you keep everything when you update, and even better than that, because okay, there is an export and import button, right? So it makes it easy for anyone to export a configuration of Asteroid from one website to another. But what I've recently made was I wanted a fresh start. I had made so many customizations in PHP files, and so actually I had Asteroid on that website. On FTP, I just renamed the folder of my template, right? I reinstalled a fresh Asteroid. I just copy pasted my 3 little JSON files, because I have 3 languages, so I always have 3 configurations, right? French, English, Dutch. I just copy pasted from the right folder, the params folders, those 3 JSON files, the configurations files, and it was done. I was sure to have a completely fresh installation very easily.
Beautiful. Good. Thank you.
One thing I want to add also, because here we spoke about the content of Asteroid, and of course I love that. But another thing, well, why do you use a tool? It's also because you like the attitude of the people. So when I first discovered, I was enthusiastic, but I said, okay, I'll give it a try. Oh, it looks nice. And then I asked a couple of questions on the forum, and they were so reactive. And this is what made my decision to switch at the time for Astroid. I said, wow, the tool is great, and the people are reactive. And then since then, Chetan has become a friend because I've asked so many questions that he could not avoid me anymore. But so it's really something that I appreciate. It's not only a tool, it's also the people behind that. They follow all the questions on the forums or whatever. And everything is of the code, it's open source. I think, is it open source, Asteroid, right?
Yeah. And it's GPL license. I mean, you could basically use it to create your own templates and not even have the Asteroid link at the bottom. So you can do whatever you want.
So if you want to make some improvements, whatever, you can even go to the GitHub and make pull requests. Why not?
Yes, people do that already. Yeah.
So it's not a closed thing, right? It's an open thing. So I also appreciate that.
All right. Do we have any other questions? Okay, well, thank you. Thank you, Mark, Chetan. Thank you. Thank you for everyone that came in to participate. I really appreciate you. I'm humbled by all of you to have this worldwide virtual just Joomla group together. It's just fantastic. So thank you. We look forward to doing this again, probably in January. We'll probably give December a break. And again, thank you to everyone for participating. And with that, have a good evening, have a good rest of the day, whatever time it is, wherever you are, if it's dark or light. We appreciate you. So thank you.